Hey Hope, how are you?
Good.
You were invited by Tabletop Games blog to do a guest review on the guest we've been playing a lot lately, Battle of Versailles. So, why don't let's take like 1 or 2 minutes to tell people who you are.
Um, my name is Hope. I'm David Thompson's daughter. Um, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, we've been playing this game called Battle of Versailles. It's a two-player game. It's on GameFound right now. It's being published by Salt and Pepper. It's exclusively for two players, and it takes about 30 minutes to play. That's what it says on the box, and that's pretty much been our experience. It's been about 30 minutes, right? So what we're going to do for this interview is, this is really bad camera work, but I'm just going to go through. I'm going to ask you some questions, okay? And we've played, to give people that are reading or watching this or listening to it, we've played this probably like 6 or 7 times, would you say? Um, so we'll just go over some basics, okay? Let's not bury the lead, though. What do you think about the game?
I like the game. It's really fun. It's definitely a strategy-prone game, which is fun, and card games are fun too. So I like it. It's really fun. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So two thumbs up. Two Hope thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about it. So, what do you, in your mind, what is the game about? The Battle of Versailles. What do you know about that?
I guess it was like a fashion battle between the French and the Americans. That's all I really know.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't dug in too much detail. It was a fashion show between the Americans and the French. So the French were like the establishment, basically, and the Americans were like the newcomers. And I think it's 1973 is when it's set, right? So when you were playing the game, do you think the game helps tell about that fashion show at all? Like, do you learn anything about it by playing the game?
Personally, not as much, but it.
Like, you don't learn the details. Do you?
No, you wouldn't learn the details by looking at the game, but it does a good job of like showing some detail within like the designs and like how some dresses might be set up during that time, like how like dresses back in like 1973 would have been like styled and worn, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So let's talk about that real quick. The art in the game is not like typical board game art.
I really, really, really like the art. It's beautiful. And they do like a good job even with the people. You can tell it's a bit more hand drawn, if that makes sense. Like with the like dresses, you can see like how they would flow, and the colors that are put together are like really good. Yeah, I really like the
Yeah, I don't know the exact specifics, but I think that they had an artist, like a company that actually does art for fashion magazines and stuff, do the art for the game.
Yeah, it's very magazine.
Yeah, like fashion magazine,
Fashion,
right?
yeah.
Okay, can you give like a very brief overview of the game? Like, just generally how it plays?
Well, you just kind of exactly just walk through the tiles. Like, you draw your cards, and then you take turns playing your cards. And there's actions on the event cards that would cause you to flip over a play a card action or draw the cards. And then once you get over here, you get to the income tiles, and you would place your cards face down, and then you would flip them, and whoever has the most income would draw 2 tiles, and then the losing person, the person who had less amount of money, would draw 1 tile, and then you would do those actions. Then you would go to the designers and see if you completed the objectives that the designers are looking for. Then you get to the scoring part, and you see the prestige, and you see you would add up the points on your cards if they're showing. You would look at the stars, and you would calculate how much you've earned throughout the round, and then you would start the round over.
Yeah, it's a really clever way. There's this physical representation of the runway, and the runway model is moving down the runway.
Yeah.
And every time she moves to a new tile, you just take those actions. And so it's a really clever way of tracking the actions over the round.
Yeah, and the model, she progresses with you. So like once you've done this action, she would just walk to the next part, and then she would keep going throughout the round, and then when that round is over, she would come back to the start, and you would do that 5 times for 5 rounds.
So a few of the actions that you walk through, like drawing a card and scoring prestige and stuff, income, those are special ones, but most of the actions, 5 of the 9 tiles, are play a card tiles. So there's 2 types of cards in the game. There are dress cards and celebrity cards.
And then there's the events.
And then events, yeah. So talk about just the dress card. Like, it's the most basic card, right?
Really, the dress card, it's a picture of the dress, and then what like objectives does that cover? Your prestige points, and then if you wanted to, instead of playing your card here, you could play it face down for the point value at the bottom for the income, or because there's the slash, you do one or the other, or you could just play it for 3 cards and then you could like discard it, so that you could earn those cards.
Yeah, and event cards are very straightforward. You just play it for the event. It tells you what to do. And the last thing is celebrities, right? So you can play celebrities.
Right. So the celebrities, you would, because you take turns depending on who goes first, you would start face down and you could say, okay, I'm going to play a celebrity, and then you play it up at the top with your others, and then there's the special thing that they do. So she's the singer and actor. She upgrades the income tile, and when you upgrade the tile, you just flip it over to the next best thing, and then you would do her power, and then there's also powers listed at the top. So when I placed her, I got to take an extra card, but there's multiple different like special things you could do depending on where you put it, and then put the card, and then if you get all 7, I think you win the game.
It's an instant victory. Oh, that was an amazing segue into the last thing I want to talk about. So winning the game. So when you play the game, one thing we really didn't discuss is you're either playing as the Americans or the French, and they play very differently, right?
Yes. Yeah, so the instant victories are different for both countries. So with the French, you are trying to either get 20 points. At the top you can see the yellow marker. It shows how many points you have. Or you're trying to get 15 of these little flags at the bottom of the tiles at the top that also show more like special abilities that you can do. And then you can also do the 7 celebrities. That's for the French. For the Americans, basically you would stack the cards like on top of each other, and you were trying to get 6 different styles of dresses, or you could do the 20 points.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, I think that's everything we want to talk about. Was there any final thoughts you had on the game?
I just really like the game. I mean, the one thing I would ask for is like more variations of the model. I mean, obviously she's beautiful, right? But if there were more models and more dresses, you could mix and match depending on what you want to play. But I mean, that's really it. I really like the game. It's a fun game. It's very strategy based. It's a very card heavy game, right? You're just playing with your deck of cards. But yeah, it's a really fun game.
Okay, thanks, Hope.
Yeah.